What's up YouTube, Playmatter here, and today I've got a first place Volcanics deck list from a locals. It was 6 rounds with the top 4 cut, and you know, at the beginning of each format I think it's valuable just to have a look at as many lists as you possibly can. So here's what Volcanics you know, could look like this format. I actually really like the list. I think it could do with some Mind Crushes, perhaps over a duality, or you know, there's a couple of cards that I personally might side instead or whatever, but yeah, no, I think the deck and the actual trap lineup is quite good as well. So I'll just run you really quickly through the actual profile. You've got 3 Firestorm Guard, which is basically the part of Avarice of the deck. 2 Summoner Monk, purely to you know, get the rocket onto the field, and then 3 Rocket, because when it's summoned you can search for your Accelerator Reload card, and it's pretty much a towers in that you just get to keep drawing each turn. You know, 1 card, which is why Reckless is viable. Then you've got 3 Scattershot, which is like a recyclable burn Regeki, which is pretty good. And then 3 Volcanic Shell, which fuels the deck itself and allows you to constantly have, you know, Volcanics in your hand so that you can use your reload. Then 1 Dark Hole, 1 Regeki, as the outs to the Jinlock. 2 Magic Planter, because this is just as good in Grave sometimes, and you know, if they've got Decree face up or something like that, or if you just need to draw, then you can do the same thing to a Finished Chain if they overlay, or if you need to get rid of your own Vanished Emptiness, it's a really good way of getting rid of Vanished Emptiness. Bottomless, 1 Deep Prison, 3 Finished Chain, which I really like this format if you're playing traps. 2 Mirror Force, again I think that's really good against a lot of decks. I think that even against Shaddolls it's quite good. You know, like Regeki's quite good against Shaddoll, just because they have to extend and to make a decent field, and even if you do give them their advantage back with Mirror Force, you know, you're not always going to actually minus out of Mirror Forcing them, and often they just won't have the resources to push and keep going, so you can really control them. You know, this is a control deck, and Mirror Force allows you to, you know, +1, if not plus even more. Triple Reckless Greed, obviously the more of these you draw together the better, but the deck has its own draw engine as well, so you know, it's a reasonable thing to play, a bit like how you could play Reckless Greed in spellbooks back in the day. And then we've got 1 Torrential, which I like as well. Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare at 1. He sides the second copy as well as some Mamelios, so that you can search these. Again, this is mainly for the Nekroz, I imagine, but there are a lot of decks that Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare does really affect. And it does take people by surprise, because people aren't playing around anymore now that Hat's not around. You know, you just don't expect to be, you know, Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare. So yeah, and then the 1 Vanity. So for the side deck, we've got 2 Lancia. I really like Lancia in some respects. If you chain into a Nekroz Mirror, then you can almost always plus out of it, or certainly, you know, they're going to have to use things from their field or hand if at all possible. So you're going to force them to ritual with things that it want to, and that's really good. And if they do summon a Trishula, then they're not going to be able to activate its effect. So yeah, Lancia is good in that respect. Obviously it doesn't stop Valkyrius, so it's, you know, it doesn't help your OTK, but in a control deck I can see it really working. 3 Maxi, probably mainly for just like BA and, you know, other random, you know, Sylvans are giving it a go. And then we've got 2 Mamelios, as I said, 3 MST, 2 Light Imprisoning for Satellarknight, 2 Shadow Imprisoning for Shaddoll, and then the Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare, which would, I imagine, come in against the Nekroz matchup. As for the extra deck, you know, it's just generic rank 4s. This is pretty much what he played in the extra deck. He didn't actually give me a list because he just said staple rank 4s, and then I sent him this list and he was like, yeah, that's right. I did ask the deck's pilot, James Tooze, if he'd change anything in the deck. He said no, he wouldn't change anything. I asked what the MVP was, and he said Scattershot with that burn and Regeki effect is too strong. And then I asked him what he found as his favourable matchups. He said he didn't really feel it had any matchups that he preferred. You know, they're all quite difficult, but that he does, the win condition is card advantage, and just letting your opponent try to overextend into attacking for game, and having either a Scattershot play or a Mirror Force play or a Torrential Tribute to significantly reduce their chances of having any cards to play with, and just winning out of card advantage alone. If you've got 4 sets, 2 guys on field, 4 or 5 cards in hand, and they've got like 1 or 2 cards in hand, then even if you haven't got a draw phase next turn, for the next 2 turns, you've won, pretty much. So yeah, no, I do appreciate and enjoy the actual style of the build of the deck, and it doesn't really care the deck that much about being class list, and obviously it does have about being gin locked. And it does have the Scattershot to destroy that as well. So yeah, that is this week's first place local deck profile. Anyone who comes in with any other deck profiles of some interesting decks that are first place at your locals, feel free to contact me and send me your lists and answer those 3 questions. The question of what was the deck's MVP, what are your favourable matchups, and what cards in the deck you would change or are considering changing. So yeah, that's it from me today. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a great big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to show your support. Next time, Playmatter signing out.